Good Thursday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Chris Harapsky. Our weather team's got a KARE 11 weather impact alert with rapid changes expected in the forecast. A dangerous driving condition night and tomorrow as well. Right now, we're experiencing some of the warmest weather we've seen all month. Don't get used to it. This morning, we had some rain falling, 40-degree temperature. Drop is on the way. Your evening commute could be slick. We'll check in with the weather team in just a second here. Speaking of weather, check out the mess in northwestern Minnesota right now. This is North Dakota area. Blizzard-like conditions sweeping through parts of the Fargo area. You can't even see the roads on the camera there. Interstate 29 closed right now from north of Grand Forks to the Canadian border. That's about 80 miles of road. The high winds making it nearly impossible to see out there. 60-mile-per-hour winds expected to last through the day today. New this afternoon, Assistant U.S. Attorney for Minnesota Joe Thompson announcing new fraud charges for 5 people he says defrauded millions through the Housing Stabilization Medicaid program. 2 people at Pristine Health accused of getting $750,000 in fraud proceeds and using it to travel internationally. 1 person at Safe Lodgings Incorporated allegedly stole nearly $1.5 million, then left the country after being subpoenaed. And 2 people participating in what Thompson called fraud tourism, coming to Minnesota after hearing the Housing Stabilization Service was, quote, easy money. There's also a new charge connected to Star Autism, based in St. Cloud. That company received $6 million in Medicaid funds and used it to pay parents who said that their kids had autism and then enrolled them in the program. This is according to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
The state in recent months has flagged 14 Medicaid programs as having significant fraud problems. For those 14 programs, which include the Housing Stabilization Services Program and the EIDBI Autism Program, the state's issued a payment suspension for 90 days. They've ordered a third-party audit of all providers in those programs, and they've even canceled the Housing Stabilization Services Program altogether.
Thompson said $18 billion has been paid out in Medicaid programs for taxpayer money since 2020. And right now, they do not know how much of that $18 billion is fraud. We got several teams in this story today to make sure you tune in at KARE 11 News at 4, 5, and 6 for the very latest. Let's take a check at Wall Street today as the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports inflation fell in November. According to the Bureau, inflation was at 2.7% last month, a good sign for consumers. But that data was collected later than normal and could include holiday discounts in the final figure. The discounted prices would have brought prices overall down regardless. Today's data was the first published since the historic government shutdown that ended in mid-November. It also shows the biggest drops in prices were on food and shelter, which accounts for both rent and mortgages. As federal immigration agents continue an escalated surge of operations in the Twin Cities, a local tenants union is calling for landlords to distance themselves from ICE. Now, Sarah Kelvey has the update.
Thanks, Chris. The tenants union in question is the Minneapolis-based United Renters for Justice. The group organized a protest last week after ICE personnel were allegedly let into an apartment building without a warrant and detained 2 people. Farhan Madel, an organizer with the group, is asking renters to get in touch with their landlords and seek assurance that such an incident won't happen in their own buildings.
The first step they should be doing is contacting their property managers, their landlord, and getting a commitment from the landlord that they would not let ICE in unless they have a judicial warrant.
We did reach out to the building manager in question, IPG, as well as ICE, but we have yet to hear back from them. Chris?
Families and physicians are calling out Medica today for cuts to benefits for children with complex needs. There's going to be a cap on home nursing care, which some say will be financially devastating for families. Here's Carla Hall.
Maybe it's understandable.
Loves outer space.
That 2 women who didn't know each other before today.
He likes to skateboard, dirt bike, 4-wheel.
Now stand together in solidarity as mothers of children with severe medical conditions. Emily Walters' 4-year-old son, Chase.
Chase was born in 2021 with a rare craniofacial syndrome.
And Kaylee Willette's 8-year-old son, MACE.
Mace was born with a very rare genetic mutation in a gene called the FOX2B gene. We do rely on nurses to be awake overnight in our home every night to ensure that my child does not die while he sleeps.
It's that very home care, these parents say, that is now at risk, with Medica informing them and other families with both Medica and medical assistance they'll be capping home care coverage to 10 days per year, starting in 2026.
If these home care hours were cut, that would leave myself as a single mom to somehow work the current 6 part-time jobs that I work to ensure I can be home for both my children.
And alongside these families are physicians and advocates,
The only thing that has changed is the thinking within Medica's legal department.
both of whom say the change in policy does not follow state law or the best medical practice.
I don't want anyone to leave here for 1 second thinking that a parent is a nurse. They don't have the breadth of nursing knowledge.
We reached out to Medica for comment about the coverage change. They responded with a statement that reads in part, "We notified impacted members in May and recommended they work with their county waiver case manager to help avoid any disruption in care once plan benefit limits have been reached." But advocates and families say requiring medical assistance to pick up more of the cost means more of a burden on taxpayers and more time in the hospital for children.
So it's extremely important that these kids be allowed to stay in the community, stay at home where they can thrive and be loved. Love is what heals.
Carla Holt reporting there. Now advocates say 2,000 families receive at-home nursing care for their children. Medica says only a fraction of them will be affected by this policy change. Meantime, State Representative Aaron Cagle is among those vowing to review this policy and what it will mean for families. New today, a Timberwolves legend is returning to the team. According to the Wolves, get this, Kevin Garnett, KG. He's joining the squad in an all-encompassing role involving business, community efforts, and content development. Garnett's number 21 Timberwolves jersey is going to be retired here. Garnett is one of the best-known Timberwolves of all time, but has been estranged from the franchise after a widely reported rift with former owner Glenn Taylor. Garnett's exact duties will be defined soon. Little reminder for you, it is the last day of the Care 11 Toys for Tots drive, and we need your help. Make sure that kids in need across the metro have a Merry Christmas. So far, we've met high school sports teams, businesses in the community, scouting troops, American Legions, you name it. They've brought in boxes of toys to the studios and shared their reasons for collecting. We cannot be more grateful. We have a 230,000 toy goal, and as of Monday, we had 94,000 toys. So still a ways to go to the goal, and that's why we need your help, especially in toys for older kids. The Marines need toys for kids in the 11 to 15 age group, so much so that they had to send some troops on a special buying mission last night after their warehouses ran out of toys for that age group. Again, if you'd like to help, it's your last day here at Care 11. You can drop off new, unwrapped toys at our studio here at Golden Valley, 8811 Olson Memorial Highway. You know, just got to give it a Google. Crews are going to be out from 8 to 8. That's when we roll every day. This is your last chance. You can also give online if you don't want to go out in this bad weather. You can just go to care11.com/toysfortots for info on how to do that. Good night to stay home, though. You might want to try the online option. Stick with us. We got more news. We got more weather coming up after the break.